Welcome everyone to the VR Expert podcast. I'm your host, Mark Coles, Marketing Manager at VR Expert. And in this podcast, we'll be sitting down with innovators, experts, and creators transforming the XR world. In today's episode, I'm delighted to be joined by Oliver Wöhler, days after the European premiere of the Pico Neo 3 Pro headsets. Oliver has multiple years of experience in the VR world, having spent time at HTC Vive, Avatar, and before being appointed as the commercial director of Northern Europe for Pico Interactive in one of the company's most exciting years. Pico as a company is focused on changing how people interact with the digital world, doing so through its development of some of the industry's most innovative VR technology solutions. As commercial director of Northern Europe, Oliver plays a key role in developing and implementing the region's commercial strategy, managing the diverse partner relationships, as well as implementing new partner acquisition strategies, ensuring client and partner needs are being satisfied, and many, many more things, as you can imagine. First of all, thank you for being here, Oliver. Nice to have you on the podcast.
Nice.
And just to start off, I'd like to ask how you got into virtual reality and this technology.
Yeah, thanks for asking. And thanks for the possibility to be a part of this podcast and of your VR expert world. Really exciting. And my first contact to VR was for I don't know 5 years, and it was a stupid demo. It was really not nice, and I feel very sick after it. But I found this technology overall super interesting, and there was a conversation with HTC. They were looking for someone who has experience on the consumer side with all these typical retailers like MediaMarkt and Amazon and Conrad and all these German retailers. And this was the starting point for the conversation. And then HTC, I joined this HTC team. And this was really a cool time to start VR from scratch. So from point zero to make the first contracts with all these retailers. And I don't know, we have made tons of demos on small and big events and more tons of small events and meetups and so on. So this was really exciting, of course.
And this, when you joined HTC, was just after they launched the original Vive, correct? With the room scale
Yeah, exactly.
VR.
This was and this the Vive was more or less on the market, so the first items, but it was exactly the time when they start the mass production of it. Yeah.
And as you went through the company, you also were part of a lot of other product launches. So the Vive Focus, the Vive Pro Full Kit, the Vive Cosmos. What were those like? Was it because I imagine you were breaking into the industry, you were really making a footprint as one of the biggest, the most important players there. It must have been quite unique, and maybe it's similar now. But how all of the technology was developing so fast at that point.
Yeah, it was really interesting to see how customers are accepting VR overall. So it was not a topic for HTC or Oculus or others. So it was more, where is this technology today? What is the customer needs, what they are looking for? And it comes really quick to the point that people and customers are looking for standalone devices. So standalone is normally the solution for a lot of things. So you can wear it everywhere. You can use it spontaneous. So without any PC updates that you have to do and base stations that you have to place and so on. So for industrial things, this is a little bit different, of course, but for consumer, you need an easy entrance to this market. And with the start of these standalone devices, Focus, Oculus, and of course, a Neo 2, this market was opened. And then it was great to see how successful these products are and how accepted they are. And I think PC VR is for consumer more, for gamers, a great product, but it's a niche product. And everyone is looking in the consumer world for the mass market, of course, and this is, of course, standalone.
And did you expect it to come so fast in that way? I mean, if you think that when the first Vive came out and the first main Oculus between 2014 was 15, the fact that after only 5 years we're at these incredible devices has been quite impressive. Were you expecting this rate of development?
Yes and no. So what some things are not expected, like so you saw some AAA game developers like what is the name? I forgot it. But these games are super high level, super expensive, and so on, and then like fall out, for example, and they're not expecting, and they're not reach the sales targets. I think that people thinking in the beginning of when they were developing this game. And then there was some surprises like Beat Saber. Beat Saber was a super simple, easy game, so this is not a complicated one. But this game shows the power of virtual reality, the power of standalone, and the idea of simple things that can move forward, and that are acceptable by the consumers. But on the other hand, I have worked also more and more on the enterprise side.
Yeah.
And this was really much more interesting for me later on to see where companies trying to begin to use VR, and a lot of companies, you can see this is not a project. Everything begins, of course, with a project, but more and more it comes to, it's a real use case in this company. I think about the car manufacturers. Every car manufacturer is working with VR at, I don't know, over 20 times a car is designed or is worked in to put this in the VR world for different use cases, and this is a fixed point in the production and not an idea, and also for the Airbus industry or air flight industry and so on.
And then you said that you started in the consumer department. What actually, and you said that you eventually moved to the more business oriented. What was that like? Was it a whole new section, or suddenly you were thrown into this role? Did you see it coming? I mean, because now you've
so this is more based on which knowledge you have, and then more and more questions, and the companies are looking for a person who's in this market and understands the technology, and it was also in Germany there are not so many people for 5 years that they are so deep in this VR world. But overall, always with an eye on sales. So for me, I'm a salesperson and a sales guy. So this is I'm not a super technical developer, and then the enterprise industry is of course a little bit different. So you have to speak weeks and months, sometimes years with a customer, and then from one day to the next, the doors are open and then everything works. But coming to this point, this was a long way. and this was for me new. So in the consumer business, you do an advertising, you do something, and tomorrow you will see some sell out, hopefully. And if not, so you have to think about why not, and you have to change it. In the enterprise world, it's completely different, of course. Companies looking for a solution, and this is the main part, and you are then the interface to find this solution. You have to connect engineers, to connect software partners to find the right thing at the right moment, so that this company can say, yes, it's working for me, and this is helpful. And at the end of the day, it's always a process. They are looking for to save money, to save time, and this is a reason to use VR for them. And you have to show that this is working, and if not, then you are not the right partner at the moment.
And I think that's actually a great explanation of how it actually works in the enterprise industry. So you spent the time at HTC, and then you moved on to Pico, or you ended up being brought in. Was part of that thing finding the proper software parties, finding the proper teams, and the people that can help you with these enterprise clients part of the reason you went there? Or how did that come about to the more enterprise focus?
To work with Pico is really, really fantastic, because Pico has a clear focus on developers. And it's not about, hey, we are the best, great, biggest headset manufacturer in the world. It's more about, okay, tell me what your problem is. What is the solution that you're looking for? and companies who are working with VR, so they're not normally they're not interested if you're wearing a headset X, Y, Z. It's important that the software is fulfill what they are asking for, and the developer who's producing the software, he is looking for the right partner. And in that case, Pico is a really fantastic partner because we are helping the developers beginning from directly from the beginning to bring their content in a good way on our headsets. And we are doing this in a very good partner way. And this is the main difference, I think, to a lot of other companies, that we are helping them to find a solution. And as you know, we have a really open product, an open headset with very open ways to work with. And this is exactly how we are thinking. Huh? It's more from what is your problem and how we can help you, and not, hey, this is a great headset and now you do what you want.
Yeah,
it's a little bit different.
So then your first year, actually, it must have been quite an exciting year, because I imagine when you came in, you knew that there was a lot of potential for the company. There is still lots of potential for Pico, and you knew that there was going to be a Neo 3. There was people have been talking about it since the Neo 2 arrived. So when you were making the Pico Neo 3, was this problem solving built into the equation? Because the product, as we've seen so far, has been incredible. We've seen a lot of positive reviews about it. And did you build in the production of the product, the development? How did you feel that they were taking in your thoughts and requirements for the Western market?
So, yeah, it's this six stuff world starts with us in the real business with the Pico Neo 2, of course, and the Pico Neo 2i. And we have learned a lot with the Pico Neo 2i. In the beginning, there was some starting issues, like always with new headsets, and we've solved them. We have made the tracking much better. We were the first company who are using magnetic tracking in the controllers, and we are trying to different things to make it a little bit different, so from hardware perspective, but also from software perspective, very open, no ecosystem, no accounts needed, and so on. And then the feedback from the developers was, yes, this is exactly what we are looking for, and please change things here, change there. So we have learned with them together a lot what we have to do better, how we have to create a new headset better. On the other hand, you have to look always with one eye or more on the pricing. If you fulfill all wishes, then you have, I don't know, a headset that is super expensive, or it's the weight is, I don't know, 5 kilogram.
Yeah.
So this is not working. So you have to find the right balance. And Pico has also a consumer headset in China, and this was also a part of this ideas, how to bring all these ideas together. And with the Pico Neo 3, we have now the Pico Neo 3 as a consumer product in China, and outside China, we are a pure enterprise company. And that means we have there this Pico Neo 3 Pro and Pro I. And it was a way of 2 to 3 months to build from this consumer business, the enterprise version, and to fulfill all these ideas from developers. And now we think we are in a good position with this headset, and especially with this XR2 chip from Qualcomm. It's a really perfect working environment for us. And the partnership with Tobii is also fantastic, because eye tracking is we believe in this eye tracking technology. We believe this is a real important part of the future of virtual reality.
Of course, the Tobii tracking is fantastic, and you see so many use cases, like you said. There's medical, there's so many training situations for marketing even. So it really is fantastic. Going back to a point you made regarding the privacy and the accounts about the Pico, why does the company continue to persist with the idea with having no accounts needed to use it? Would you think, is that there to stay for the moment?
Yes. So this was a reason. This was one of these reasons why we are so successful in the last 24 months with a really high growth rate, and companies are looking for an easy working entrance into VR, and with with not a personalized headset, this is not working in the enterprise world. In the enterprise world, you need a headset, and so to work with an account is from our perspective not the right way, and it's much easier to put on the headset and go for it. And sometimes it's so simple, and but this is maybe also the difference. Pico is not an ecosystem. Pico is a manufacturer of headsets. So there's no need from our side to try to connect with our collaboration tools or with our whatever tools and app stores and so on. So we are trying to make it exactly different. And this is what especially enterprise companies asking for.
Fantastic. I mean, I know a lot of our clients have been asking is they going to change anything regarding that. So that's fantastic to hear. And as you know, most companies have gone for accounts, which has made it much harder for adoption. And that's one of the best things about Pico, that they continue to persist that it's, as you said, they were a manufacturer, which is really important for all clients and all businesses. Then back to the hottest topic, the new Pico Neo 3 Pro. How's that going? I mean, it's been, as you said, it took you 3 months since the consumer version. How's the market been receiving it? How have you found it? And what do you expect for it?
Yeah, so the last days was really fantastic. So from sales perspective, and I'm a sales guy, it was really great to see how many headsets we have sold and how many orders we have in, and also the first reviews are really, really good. So we had a super small quantity of developer kits, and we saw first companies who are working with these developer kits and producing really great experiences. And this was a first good signal. Then the standard version, the consumer version in China was also a huge success there. And this was really good for us in US or outside China and in Europe to hear, okay, the feedback is really good. And so we are in a good way also for the enterprise version because it's the same technology inside the same chip and so on. And then we started to send out the dev kits. The feedback was also really good. And then in the last 10 days, 14 days, we have started to do our PR announcements on different events to say, now we are ready. We have our distributors have enough stock. Let's start to sell this product and let's start to send it to developers to help them now to create more content for this headset, because we are in the beginning of this Neo 3 Pro world. It's a lot of things happen now, and a lot of companies have to start now to work and to develop for this headset. And this is again a really fantastic time.
Fantastic. And for the people who remember Pico from the first days with the G2, with the 3DOF world, do you have an update on what's the plans for the 3DOF headsets, the G2 4K and the Enterprise?
Yeah,
are those you guys are one of the strongest there?
So Pico is a 3DOF and 6DOF company, and we want to make this also very clear also for our customers and developers. We believe in this 3 degree of freedom technology also in the future. So personally, I will say the next 12 to 18 months, we will still continue this product. And after this, I don't know, we have to see. Difficult to say from perspective today, but 3 degree of freedom is so a huge market and so an important market also for Pico. And it's for medical, for students, for education, for cinemas, for theaters, for operas, and so on. We see so many different use cases where 6DOF is not needed. So people are looking for a good picture quality and a good experience, but not for 6 degree of freedom while they are sitting or lying. So there's no need for 6 degree of freedom, and also with an eye on the pricing. A 3 degree of freedom headset costs a half of the price of a 6 degree of freedom headset. And if you have the same picture quality and you can bring very easy 100 people at the same time via press a button on your tablet into VR. And this is, of course, a good argument for 3 degree of freedom. So this is the reason why we still continue to produce these G2 4K and 4K Enterprise, especially in the future. And the Enterprise version with these special hygienical materials, we see a lot of use cases in hospital environment, medical overall environments. So
finally, to round it off, I'd like to ask, where can our listeners find you online, and where can they find you the coming months and weeks?
So online is easier. So so we have started a small tour on different events, starting with a PR event in Berlin, and then in Hamburg and Munich, and we have shown the product on the VR AR Global Summit. So this was the starting phase, and we are working now on more ideas. Let's see how this COVID situation is. It's really difficult to say what's going on at the moment. Is this allowed or not? Difficult to plan budgets for this. So we are happy to help developers, of course, with our distributors together to try this product, to build loan models so that they can try it and to check, is this really working well? Yeah, okay. And then to scale with their customers together. And this is the main point. So, and I hope we have can do a small tour in November, end of November, through some cities with distributors and other partners. And I'm trying to be a part of a lot of meetups if they are really happen. This is really interesting to see if or if not. And based on all this, yeah, you can find us online, of course, on our webpage. If someone is interested, then you can register yourself, or go to, of course, much easier directly to be our expert and asking for support, or asking for a loan, or asking for test devices. And myself you can find on LinkedIn and these typical channels, of course.
Thank you so much for your time, Oliver. And we wish you all the best in the coming time and with the continued launch of the Neo 3. For all our listeners, if you enjoyed the episode, please follow the show and share it with your network. And we'll see you at the next episode. Thank you.